Hello out there in the internet void. How's everyone doing today? We are the Read Along Queens, and we are reading the Armored Saint trilogy. This is the discussion for the first book, and we're going to talk about what we thought about it. So, who wants to go first? Ratings.
I did not particularly like it.
Really?
I know. Half the time I had no idea what was going on, and then the other half I did know what was going on. I was like, why? I should say, I have had no time to gather my thoughts because I would just kept putting this. I read the first 40 pages like a while ago, and I was like, oh boy, this is not going to be for me. So I just struggled with reading it, and then I literally finished like 7 minutes ago by now. So I have had no time to gather my thoughts, but yeah, no, I was not a fan.
Fair enough.
I don't know. Someone else go.
All right, I can go next. I actually really liked it. I gave it 4.5 on my spreadsheet. I was just checking because I forgot. Probably finished it like a week ago. I feel like I'm like, why did I like it? It's been like a second, but like, I don't know. I had a good time reading it, and I thought it was like especially quite visceral and really like intense. It was definitely a setup, but like a setup I enjoyed, I guess. What about you, Kira?
This is going to be interesting because I feel like I was like right on the borderline. Like I was just like at the beginning of the book, I was like, oh, like, yeah. And it was going a direction and then it veered off into like left field. And I'm like, where are you going with this? It's like wondering it's like I thought the goalpost was over here, but then they started going this way. I was like, wait, did you guys move the goalpost or something? Because like I thought it was over here. Like, and what I expected to happen, like, just didn't. So I don't know, like, so like at one hand, like it was interesting because I like the twist, but at the other end, it's like, okay, this feels like a little unhinged because of that twist. So I'm like, I think I gave it like around a three star or so, 3.5, so I'm like, we're around there. And I have a lot of conflicting feelings.
I will say it was so different than what I expected from it. Like because obviously like you see the cover, right? You see her in the armor, and I was like, oh, she's gonna be some warrior badass. And like when we were introduced to the main character, she's so like soft, and she's quite like young and immature. And I kept being like, is she like 13 or like I couldn't like her age was really weird to me. Like she sometimes acted very young and sometimes didn't. And then I was like reading it, and I was like, we're like really far into the book at this point, and nothing happened that would make me feel like she's the person from the cover. Until obviously like then we see the armor and then whatever. But like yeah, it took a very long time. I was like, this book is kind of very slow, and it's mostly like a love story almost. But like I kind of enjoyed it. It was like very different than what I expected, but I guess in a good way.
Yeah.
My favorite character was literally the mouse. Until things went south, I should say.
Oh yeah, that was gross. I honestly didn't expect them to like solve the mystery of whether it's all like made up, like the whole devil in the eye. I didn't think they would tell us so definitively and so early on. And I think that really complicates it because like you're fighting this government, but the government kind of has a point almost, but it's like because they're not doing it just for like power, or like they're not feeding them this propaganda that's not true. Like it's true. And it's got really bad consequences, but like at the same time people live in fear and they're being like mistreated, so it's not right either. So it's like, where do we go for, like, I'm very confused who we're gonna fight in the second book, the devil or the like the religious organization, right? Because like on one hand the religious organization isn't good, but like then at the same time the devil ain't good either. So it's kind of like, what do we do?
The religious organization isn't good, but they do kind of have a point with the devils, except it's kind of like, it's not like the end justify the means all the time. I feel like that's kind of the point where we're at here.
Yeah, but that's what like
I was so annoyed at the end that she was suddenly like, I'm a saint and I'm the chosen one for the emperor. And I was like, sorry, what? I was like, you're still just the same girl and you nearly died and you lost your hand, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm curious if they're gonna do any kind of like time jump for the next book,
Hmm.
because she feels way too immature to be like the savior or whatever. But at the same time, something traumatic did happen, and she did kill the devil or whatever. Or I guess it wasn't that devil, but like whatever she did. I don't know. I feel like because it was such a short book, I'm kind of forgiving of how much I don't understand and don't know, and I'm kind of up for finding out more.
Hmm.
Because I mean, it's only like 200 pages, and I feel like normally these kinds of books are like 400 pages long, so it did only have like half the time. I will say that I like a little bit dragged a little bit for me, especially in the middle when we were like she was in that vault and like they were thinking, oh, will these people come, will not. It was like a little bit slow,
Hmm.
but the end was definitely exciting.
See, I was thinking like that this was going to be like, like the whole like left field thing came like when the devil actually existed, because I'm just like, oh, because like these people, like this government, like is like super like religious and evil, and like it kind of villainized the whole like government and stuff, especially like when we saw the knitting, and they were senselessly killing like these people that like were. And I mean, I kind of feel like maybe like they're doing it as a fear tactic because they want to keep everybody in line, like to try to keep the chances of people veering off and doing their own thing and starting wizardry and everything to a minimum. So if they keep people in fear, they'll be less likely to do that. So it kind of felt like that was a mechanism, like like to try to continue like to do things the way that they've been doing them. But like you said, Gabby, like they have a point. So I thought this was going to be like, hey, we're going to overthrow this government, make things better. But now it's just like, where do we go from here? Like, because like,
Can I just interject with, I just read the summary for the second book on Goodreads. Can I say
yeah,
something about that? Are you good with
yeah.
that?
Yeah.
So apparently we're going back to the original goalpost,
Of
which is
taking
like
down the government.
we're going to be in a revolution and fight the, how does it say? Eloise must face the tyrannical order and lay siege to the imperial palace itself. It's like we didn't even have the final 3 chapters of this book. It's like,
You know what? I feel like it would have been more interesting to not tell us the devil was real and make it a plot twist for book 2. Like we've worked so hard to overthrow this government, but the government's got a point.
Yeah.
And
ta-da!
now
It's
it's like,
real.
wait, what? Like, because I was like, yeah, we need to take out this government, blah, blah, blah. But now I'm like, well, what are you gonna do? Like, do you want like I know the government is bad because it took out villages, but this devil literally just almost killed everyone as well. So one way or another, your village is dead. You know what I mean? So maybe I don't
Something
know.
I was wondering though, like it only happened to, what was the dude called? Well, the wizard one that turned into a devil. He only turned into a devil after like an astonishing feat of magic, because he said he'd been using magic for like 10 years
Yeah, that's true.
and it didn't trigger it. So that does like kind of make me curious. Like, so apparently there's like degrees. You can use some of it without triggering like a portal to hell, but the moment you start to do something really incredible, I guess, then there's no way back or something.
Yeah. But
Hmm.
like, I have to like wonder though, because it seemed like to me like the least evil authoritative figure in the whole thing was, what was his name? Cleos, I think was his name. He was the wanderer, the one like
Yeah.
that had the wizardry. And
Yeah.
and like he was, to me, like he seemed like the least, like oppressive figure out of the whole thing. So, like he spoke of love and he made sense, like, and how like, they wanted to find love and all that. And yet he still ended up becoming a tool for this devil to pop through. And I'm kind of like wondering, like, what does that mean really? Because I mean, are we going to get an explanation of like why it happened to him just because he used wizardry, even though he was a good person?
Hmm.
Like, that to me like seems really unhinged, and that part's very confusing.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess like kind of like Femke say, maybe it'll be like that degree of power is like we're using, it's like who you are as a person is almost like irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we also don't know, is it like, because like the way the church or the authoritarian power, like whatever they're called, they made it position like you use magic once it happens kind of thing, because they were like willing to kill people that even showed slight signs that they might do
Mhm.
magic, right? But maybe we'll find out, yeah, well, like she's just a lot of magic. But then it's like, but how do you control how much magic people use? People are greedy, you know. So it's like,
Yeah.
it's very interesting. I'm very curious to see where this goes. Yeah, yeah, this book was like a lot of setup, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I felt definitely like we're setting it up, and we're gonna, like, even the setup wasn't what we all expected. I think we're like, what? But yeah, it's very, I like, I don't know, do you think like in book 3 they're gonna solve the whole devil problem? But like that seems so far out of
Yeah.
like scope, because well, I don't know, I was wondering, because like obviously the main character wanted to learn how to use magic, but now she's seen that, I assume she doesn't want to know how to use magic. So maybe not being scared of magic and embracing that part of herself is going to be like book 2's arc, and then we're going to find out how not to summon the devil. I don't know, but that's kind of where I see it going, maybe.
How not to summon a devil for dummies.
Yeah, maybe they just have a school of wizardry. This whole problem would be yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm so confused just because I read the synopsis for the second one, and I'm like, are we just going to ignore basically the whole last 25% of this book and just go back to like the original plot I thought we were going to have? It's like, because there's not really any mention of devils, honestly, in the synopsis. Does it? Does it? No. No, it doesn't. It literally, it doesn't. And also, like, the time for hiding underground is over. And I'm like, hiding under, they literally didn't know who you were. You were just literally a girl living in a village. How is that like hiding underground?
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder, because like there's nothing that special about herself, right? It was like mostly that, like, her bravery, which is kind of cool. Is like, it's kind of like Hunger Games. Like Katniss not like special. It was just, she just took a stand, right? So that could work. But yeah, I wonder if there's gonna be something like about her, or is it mostly like her personality and the armor. But yeah, it's very weird. Like, it's interesting. I liked it because it was so different than what I'm used to. But I thought it was adult, but then I'm like, wait, it is YA, but it's quite like dark for a YA. So I was just like,
Is it YA?
I thought it was.
I don't think so.
Goodreads, I think it says it is, but Goodreads is like,
how
trust can you have it? But
I don't know. Usually, like Tor.com is adult.
oh, okay, maybe it is adult.
But I don't know. I mean, I guess it's also one of those series with like crossover appeal. A bit like on the darker side. But I just feel like the divide between adult and young adult is sometimes very unclear.
Yeah, this was definitely, if it was what YA, it was very on the older side of YA, I guess.
Yeah, because I mean, like for example, like Malice, it's very clear that Malice is like adult. It's just like in the way it is written, it's quite slow. It's like epic fantasy, but then Daughter of the Moon Goddess is technically adult. It's been released as adult, but I mean, there's nothing really that specifically makes it adult.
Yeah.
I feel like so sometimes, and I feel like this is the same. It could be young adult, it could be adult, based on like knowing what I know of the publisher. I'd say it's adult. But you're right, on Goodreads it does have like what's it called? Tags for young adult. But then again, those are the things that people can change themselves. It just shows as like what it's been shelved as most. So I don't know.
Yeah. But what do you think about the world? Like, I feel like it was quite interesting and unique, because it had magic, but then it also had like technology, and I thought that was an interesting combo. And they set up quite an interesting world. I'm not sure I totally like understand it, but it's also like, because the book is so short, I kind of get it. But yeah, I was like, oh, this is like interesting because we do have actual magic, but then we have these suits which seem to be powered by like science. So it's almost like sci-fi slash fantasy, which is pretty cool.
I almost feel like it's kind of steampunk, I
Mm.
guess. So, you know,
Yeah.
basically what you said, like magic and science. I don't know, like I think the potential of the world is the thing I like most about the book. But
Mm.
we didn't really see a lot of it in this one, so I hope like we will get to see more of it in the next one.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, world is probably like the thing. The potential of what this world could be is the thing I'm most excited about.
Mm. What do you think here?
Um, I I don't know, like, so I liked the whole how it set her up to wear the armor,
Mm.
but on like it almost felt a little too convenient a little bit, you
Mm.
know? Like it just like maybe just sheer dumb luck, you know? Like that
Yeah.
it would crush her to a point like where like it would crush down like to a point to where she could actually operate it.
Mm.
And I had a lot of mixed emotions about that too because I mean, was it luck? Was it fate? Was it divine, you know, like
It
presence?
must have been the divine emperor,
Yeah.
as
Is
this
divine
book would have
emperor
it.
like a person or God? Because I was a bit hazy on the
I
details.
feel like originally it was a person, but it has like descended into no, not descended,
Right.
ascended into divinity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I feel like.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, after she killed the devil, like now she's like the town mayor is all like, oh, the revered one or something like that.
Palatine.
Mm.
I don't
Yeah.
know what a palatine is, but
Yeah, he was calling her your eminence. Like almost like worship because she
Mm.
killed the devil. So I feel like that kind of sets the stage too, because you know, like that was towards the end, and now she's considered a paladin because she's able to do these things because she killed one devil, and he's going to make her a suit. You know, like they kind of hinted at the fact that they're going to make her a suit.
Mm. You know what? I feel like they shouldn't have put her in the armor on the cover because it's a little bit misleading and also kind of spoilery. So I feel like it'd be better to like have her like just like casual, and then like second book obviously could be her on the armor.
Yeah.
yeah, but then the entire title, like the armored saint, she doesn't become that until the very end. After she defeats the devil in the armor, then they start calling her a saint.
Mm. Yeah, I just feel like because I saw the cover, I like kept thinking like, where's the armor? Where are we gonna get? And I kept being like, where's the armor? Because like it seemed like such a big part of the
Yeah.
thing, and like it's not very indicative of what the actual book is. At least the first one, maybe second one she leads armies, but this one no. So yeah, that was interesting. I did think that it was cool. Like once the devil came, it's like he overtook that body of the magician. So it's like that person was basically dead. So it
Mhm.
was quite like sad.
Yeah.
The guy like basically sacrificed himself. Well, he didn't know. I guess he thought it was a lie because he was like, oh, I've been doing magic for this many years and nothing happened. So, but yeah,
I still feel bad for the mouse.
I know that scene where
The
the
mouse,
mouse like, oh, it was so gross.
the mouse wasn't innocent in all this.
The mouse was very cute and was very sad.
Yeah. Like I didn't actually take him seriously, like either. Like when he said, "Oh, this mouse is gonna watch out for you," I'm like, "Oh, okay." So, and then suddenly it's just like, "Oh, I used my wizardry on him." I'm like, "Okay, all right."
Yeah. I had a feeling before, like when he gave her the mouse, it's like, no, he will not bite you because blah blah blah. Well, I don't know exactly what he said. I was like, okay, you're a wizard. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I thought he was a wizard. I don't remember, but yeah, it was kind of like explained how he evaded capture and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I liked his character, although I feel like I didn't get why he cared so much about the main character. Like, I know he went to war with her father, but I'm like, you visit a couple times a year. I feel like you're very invested.
Yeah.
And then he kept like insisting she goes back. I'm like, well, she would have been fine just being with you in the forest. Pretty less harm would have been done, but okay. Like, felt like that was silly, but okay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and then like when she ran away and like he asked her a question, he's just like, well, did you like, he basically asked her if she had sex. And I was just like, she's like, is that the reason why you can't go back? And it was, to me, like that was kind of cringy and very personal for a man his age to be asking something like that to a girl her age. And that was a little bit cringy to me.
Yeah, I just found some of the dynamics between characters, like in general, to be a bit weird.
Yeah.
Like what you just said, Kira, is like, okay, what are we getting at? But yeah, I don't. Also, like the well, what's it called? Like the dude of the Holy Order.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dude, she's a literal child. Do not take her so seriously. It's like,
yeah, he was very self-important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I found their relationship a little bit weird, because it's just like I didn't really understand it. I guess I was like, why he's so invested? They didn't make it very clear, and yeah, I don't remember thinking that he asked her if she had sex. I thought it was more like, did something happen like of that nature, because he was also like, they mentioned that he's a man who lies with men, so I'm like, oh, maybe he was like, that happened to me, and well, kind of that's what he basically said anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I took it as that, but I don't remember, to be fair, so you might be right.
He literally said something like, he used the word ravished.
Oh, okay. Oh, that is gross.
Yeah.
I remember because I just read that. It's like that. I don't remember the exact sentence, but I do remember that he used the word like ravishing, ravished.
That is a bit gross.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you like the romance, or like the situation there?
I just felt there was like no build up. It was like, bam, suddenly I love her.
Really?
Yeah, but that could also be because I wasn't invested, so I wasn't paying attention to it. But I don't know, it just felt kind of, I mean, I guess the love was there, but I didn't see it like necessarily as like a romantic love.
What about you, Kira?
Like what Femke said, but like, so I feel like it started out like as being just a platonic love, but like the more she thought about it, the more I feel like the more she realized that she cared about her. And then like, like as she was kissing her, that's like when she really realized like that she had feelings for her. But I feel like it's the conditioning like of the society too, because, like of all the wizardry and stuff, and that was probably considered a sin, like if we go like based on the Puritan structure. That the pilgrims are, which I kind of thought it was interesting, like that they called the prosecutors pilgrims, but I don't know, like, and I feel like maybe if the daughter had a chance to let it like kind of simmer like a little bit, like, or not be so shocked about it, maybe it would have developed into more something for her too, but it felt very one-sided. And that was a little bit cringy to me too, because it made it sound like, the main character had some previous experience kissing, whereas the girl didn't.
Yeah. See, for me, I felt from the get-go that she was in love with her friend, even if she didn't realize. I thought so, because she was so mad about the whole engagement. And at some point she said, oh, I wish she was me, like, and her being promised to each other and celebrating these things. So I was like, all right, well, she's in love. So I think you're right. It's kind of like she had all these intense feelings, but didn't even know what they were, because it was like with the wizard. Before we knew he was a wizard, they said, oh, he's like lies with men, and he's like ostracized from society, and he's a sinner, whatever. So like we know it's kind of a sin. So but I do agree that I felt like the friend gave no vibes that she was into her, like at all. And then towards the end, like obviously the friend came back and they fought together, but it still felt like the friend felt more like they're literally sisters, like they're best friends. And like, there's like one-sided love happens, so I don't really have a problem with that. And I thought, at first I was like, oh girl, why are you running? Like you literally, like your whole family might get murdered. Like you're being very stupid right now. But then she was very, very, very childish in some moments, and I think she was meant to be very young. So I kind of like forgave it in that way. But I was like, oh, girl, like what are you doing? Like sit your ass down.
I honestly feel like stupidity was her main trait.
Yeah, but I do think that's because she was so young. But they never said, I guess, an age. But like
Yeah,
her
she's
mental
16.
development seemed like, is it 16? I thought it was like 14. Like she seems to
No,
be.
they said 16 at some point.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, you're young, but I guess you're old enough to like learn from previous mistakes. So
Yeah. I mean, there was that scene where she was like, her and the wizard were like spinning or dancing together, or like spinning, playing some kind
yeah,
of
I was like,
game.
what are you, 12?
Literally, I thought she was like 12, and I was like, oh, we might get some kind of time jump. Because I agree with the dad. It's weird. Why are you doing that with a grown ass man? Like, why is he being weird like that? Like, it's not your family. Like, I was a bit like with the father. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Excuse you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
no,
that one time, I was like, I understand the father.
yeah, no, I like apparently she was 16. So yeah, I mean, like I do think because of a lot of YA, our like perception of how a 16-year-old behaves is skewed. But at the same time, sometimes I really felt like she was 12 in this one.
Yeah, especially in the beginning, I think, because she had like no impulse control, like zero, like none. I was like, child, shut the fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, this is serious stuff. These people can murder you and your entire family. She's like, I'm not gonna be silenced. I'm like, you're being stupid. Like, you're not proving anything and you're not achieving anything. You're just being difficult. That's why I was like, how young is she? Because if you're a child of 12, I understand. But if you're 16, I feel like you should have the mental capacity to be like, maybe I'll shut up right now so he doesn't kill my entire family and I can rant about this later, you know, something like that. So it was very like, and she, oh my, I don't know what it was, but she fell on her ass so many times. I don't know if you noticed, but they described her falling on her ass at least like 5 times. I was like, is she, at first I was like, she must be like 9 years old. Like, why can't she stand upright? You know, like no one falls that much on their ass when they're an adult, like a toddler does. So I found her age to be very confusing, and like the whole concept of following her. I don't think I've fallen on my ass in years. Like, calm down. It was very funny.
Last time I fell on my ass was when I slipped on the stairs and I just, went down the stairs like that on my butt. That's like last time.
Like she was like standing and then just like got shocked or something, just fell on her ass. I'm like, what the hell? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I only do that when I like trip or something, usually over my own feet, but
yeah.
It's not that often. It's not 5 times in the span of 3 days like this book. I don't know what was the time span because I felt like it was 3 days or something.
I don't think it was long because like the day we start and they ran into that holy man and she falls on her ass for the first time.
Right.
I think that's the same day as they're being called, or max next day as they're being called to that.
No, you're right. It's the same day. In the morning, they came across like the pilgrims.
Yeah.
And then that same evening, they came for the knitting. And then the next morning, they had to hide. And then the next night, she ran away.
Yeah, so it's literally 3 days, like, or even 2 days.
Yeah.
Wow. A lot happened in these 2 days. Oh, I thought she was in the vault for longer, to be fair.
I mean, I guess that's good writing then, because I assume if you're stuck in darkness, it will feel like a lot longer than it actually is.
That's true.
So, but yeah.
So, anything you're excited for about the next book?
I hope we find out more like we're about like these portals, like in like devils, and like maybe we'll meet some more wizards like that have more of an explanation, like for like how it actually happens. Like I feel like there was like a lot of unanswered questions, like for like why this happened, like the way it did.
Yeah, I mostly hope that like questions will be answered, and that everything will become how do I say this? It's like more of like one story, because right now I just feel like it's a bit choppy, because we have like the pilgrims and we have like the wizards, and then we have sort of the romance, and it's, I don't know, it doesn't flow very well in my opinion. It just yeah, in Dutch we have like a saying like van de hak op de tak, but I really have no idea how to pronounce it, but it's like literally, you know, from just bouncing around basically.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, I think. What do I think? I think, yeah, I agree. There's like two sides with this: the overthrowing the government, and then there's wizardry is daredevil, and they somehow need to come together into some kind of conclusion, because we can't just ignore the devil. Like, if you establish that it's true, we need to like work with that as our framework, right? So I hope somehow they bring that together, and they're like figure out a way, I guess, to be like, the government's better, but we also have the whole devil thing under control. And yeah, I'm curious. I feel like, well, the covers make it feel like there's gonna be some epic like war. But so far it's just her village that's like been decimated, I assume. Or I don't know if actually was it just her friend that died, or or other people died as well, I think, right? I don't even know.
I have no clue. I can only remember like just her friend because it was like explicitly mentioned because she was there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But like she hid for what, I don't know. Yeah, and also I feel like it'd be interesting. Like, I really hope we don't glance over like the trauma that she's been through, because like losing her friend, or like her love like person she was in love with, her arm, becoming a saint. Like, I feel like this is like whole what is that called? Shadow and Bone book 1, 2, and 3, like all in one 200-page book with the whole I'm becoming a saint and I'm losing things and I'm losing loved ones, like a whole drama. But I hope that's not like, oh, whatever, now she's super badass and nothing can touch her. But like, I want to like work through that trauma, you know.
Just another day. Just another day.
It's like, oh well, that sucked. Anyway, so I hope we don't do that.
I mean, she looks older.
She does. That's true.
It reminds me of Loki, what you just said, the television show. It's like, yes, very sad. Anyway.
That's true. Yeah, I hope. Yeah, well, I guess if there's a time jump, I want it to feel like kind of organic, because I like the character we meet in this book is like we agreed, like could be a 12-year-old child. But by the end, obviously, she's already a bit more mature. But like, I hope we don't lose out on all of that work, and she's not just like a finished product, I guess.
Yeah.
I really don't think it's going to be a time jump.
Really?
Because it's like in this epic fantasy sequel, Eloise stands tall against overwhelming odds, crippling injuries, religious tyrant, blah, blah, blah. So it's like she suffered kind of crippling injuries at the end of book 1 that aren't going to heal super fast. But then again, if there was going to be a substantial time jump, they would have been healed, except for the hand, obviously, because it won't grow back.
Sure.
So I don't think it's going to be a huge time. It could be wrong. It's just on the basis of the synopsis. It doesn't sound like a very long time jump.
Right.
Well, I'm excited. It was nice to read something kind of quick. It didn't feel that short, but I think just because it's quite a dense book, there's a lot. So I didn't like fly through it or anything, but it was a good time, at least for me.
I mean, I didn't hate it. Like, and I enjoyed like the premise and like and how it kind of threw me off and everything, which is like where all my mixed emotions came from. I'm just not sure about how I feel about how everything played out.
Yeah. I think for me, whether I think it was like a good setup or not will depend on what the other books are. Like, if they manage to do that well, then great. If not, I do think like going with the whole the government is evil thing and this devil thing doesn't exist, and then subverting that in book 2 could have been interesting, because that would have been like, well, wait, the government's maybe not that evil, what? So it's like kind of like throwing that whole like structure on its head. But we'll see. Maybe the author will do a really good job, and then I'm excited. But yeah, this whole book was like a roller coaster, because I was like, I don't know where we're going for like 90% of the book.
Yeah, I was like, at one point I was like, okay, this is where we're going, and then what Kira said is suddenly just, nope, we're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it made it really like, I don't know, to me like that, like it was interesting, but it also made it feel disjointed.
Mm,
Yeah.
I do feel that.
Yeah, no, I just hope I'll enjoy the second one more, because otherwise this is going to be a struggle.
At least a short struggle. You don't have to read like a 500-page behemoth.
But still, like 250 pages as a struggle is going to be a long 250 pages.
Yes, I hope you enjoy it.
Yes.
Me too.
Hope we all enjoy it too.
Yes.
I got all the books and ebooks, so I'm ready. Do we know when we're gonna talk about it? So I can't do the 28th or the 4th. So just a heads up. So we might need to do it on the 11th if that suits you guys.
Oh, for the next book, the June 11th?
Because I'm going to Australia for a holiday.
Okay.
Flying on the 4th.
I think I should be able to do the 11th. I think I have something on the 10th, but I don't think I have anything on the 11th. Or do I? I don't know. I'm so confused. No, I think it's fine.
And for reading sprints, are we up for doing it like on 21st?
Yeah, that would be fine for me.
Probably.
Cool.
I don't think I have anything, but my brain is mush right now, so
let's pencil it. It's always good to agree on these because then I can put it in and not plan anything.
Right.
Thanks for doing it later this time.
Yeah, not a problem.
it just gave me enough time to read the book.
Happy to help. Sorry, just adding it to my calendar. So, I don't know, was there anything else you guys wanted to talk about the book? I don't know if there was any burning thoughts left.
No, not really. For me, not a whole lot of burning thoughts going on anyway with this book, but
I mean, I don't know, like I'm glad I'm like it's been sitting on my shelf for like a while, so I'm glad I finally read it because like it kind of like takes away the curiosity of what's going on. But like I don't know, like I'm hoping like the rest of the series like it like packs the punch that we need.
Yeah, because I definitely think like the ideas are there and like the writing is pretty good. Like I had nothing that I found really bad about or anything. Like it was a bit dense, but I think that's just kind of the genre as well. So yeah, well, to be fair, I enjoyed this book. Maybe 4.5 is a bit high considering I don't remember that much, but of my feelings. But like a 4, I think, from enjoyment level alone. So I'm excited for the next one.
For me, it was like 1.5, 2. So
let's hope it's gonna go up.
Yeah, I mean it's okay. Not all books are going to be for everyone. So true. I'm glad you two enjoyed it at least.
Yes, but you're right. I don't want you to read 3 1-star books in a row or something. So.
It's okay. It's okay. I'm doing Desert-a-thon, so there's probably going to be good books in there.
Nice. What are you reading that's exciting for that?
Well, I'm using like my ability, so I can use this book for the first prompt, which was to read like an old book or a book that's been on your TBR forever. And for that, I originally it's over there, and I can't reach it, and I'm too lazy to get up. Empire of Sand by Tasha Suri.
Oh yeah.
So I'm just going to skip that for now, and now my second book is going to be Book Outside Your Comfort Zone, and for that I chose Dune. So I'm not sure if I'm going to regret that after this one.
I've read both, and Empire of Sand is really easy read. I'll say that. Like it's very like at least I found it like I flew through it. Dune not so much. It wasn't bad or anything. It was good, I thought, but it was a slow read because you're like, there's so much information here to like, put in my brain.
I'm reading it. I'm reading Dune. I'm trying to finish reading Dune like right now. I was telling Femke like before the first movie came out for the part 1, I'd started it and I got like over halfway through. It's been sitting in my on our when we started discussing our nightstands of shame, you know, and I finally like picked it back up again because I'm like, well, the second part's coming out. I probably should finish it if I'm going to. So I'm enjoying it. I think it's pretty good. And I'm actually like, they just came out with deluxe editions for the second and third book too. So I'm kind of like, ugh, these books are so pretty. And I feel like I need to get motivated to read these so I have an excuse to get the other two.
Yeah. I have the other deluxe edition, like the purple one. And they don't have matching editions for that one. So, but yeah. I don't know. Like, I really don't think I can make Empire of Sand fit with a prompt outside your comfort zone, because I really don't think it is outside my comfort zone.
Do you have to do the prompts in an order?
Yes, because you're following, like, you're doing a trek through the desert. You're following, like, a path.
Fun. That sounds nice. So I can't wait for like when I have time to read again and do like a proper readathon that requires you to like put the work in. I'm like so ready. But right now I'm like, if I read 10 pages a day, I've won, so it's okay.
Yep.
This was my first book this month. I don't know. I've been working, obviously, and then on Wednesday I decided it was a good idea to, after work, go to a concert in Amsterdam, which is 1.5 hour drive away. And 1.5 hour drive back. So I came home at like 1, but I had to get back up at 5:30. So I went to work at like 4 hours of sleep that day, and I was like a zombie. But then when I tried to sleep the next night, I couldn't sleep because I was too tired or something, I guess. So I was still a zombie the next day. So nothing happened. And then Friday, my sister came like back here with her son, like my nephew. So obviously I had to go see them. And nothing happened. And then yesterday I was spring cleaning and painting my fence. Like, I feel so domestic. I have a fence now, and I painted my fence. Well, varnished, I guess. It's not really a paint, but it's like making sure it's like weatherproofed. And then today I was doing the last bits and bobs of spring cleaning, and then I was like, oh shit, I also still have to read this book. So it's going great.
Yeah, I feel you. I also only read 1 book this month. And it was an audiobook, which is the only reason why I actually read it. So, because I was also cleaning. I'm like, okay, I can do this.
I can't do audiobooks when I'm cleaning. No, I actually put on like Sabaton music while I was cleaning. Sabaton is, I don't know if you know it, it's like a hard rock band.
Yeah.
That sing about like battles and everything. So it felt very victorious to be cleaning to that type of music. It was a great vibe.
Oh, fair enough. No, I love like listening to audiobooks when I clean because like I like cleaning. I don't mind it, but I had to like super quickly clean because my siblings came over for a visit. And I was like in between like interviews and my work calls and like quickly cleaning like my bathroom and my whole living room. It was like frantic like run to clean everything, but I did do it, so winning really. Yeah. Also, I just got a vacuum cleaner because the one we had was broken, and I'm like, oh, I can vacuum this house finally. I'm so happy. Like, we have a carpet in our bedroom. Do you know how disgusting that gets when you can't vacuum it? I was like, I can't live like this anymore.
I have a white carpet in my living room.
Oh.
So yes, I know. And it's very I don't know what you call it in English, but it's like very thick with like long hairs. It's very fluffy. I don't know if I can show you. If I drop you, I'm sorry. I'm going to try to show you as best I can. So I am going to put you on the ground, and I'm going to very sexily sit down on the ground as well. Like, it's pretty thick. It's very soft and fluffy, fluffy rug. And I'm going to go back. This is very charming, and it's on the internet for all to see.
I am digging the sweater, by the way.
I am the boss.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah, I actually usually wear that to work. where I am most decidedly not the boss.
You're like, I'm gonna trick them into thinking of the box.
Just pretend. Just pretend,
It's
yeah.
called manifesting.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I also like with this carpet, I bought like carpet cleaner. It's like a type of powder you have to rub in and then you have to vacuum it back out. Except apparently my vacuum cleaner is not strong enough for that shit. So it was a lot of hard elbow work trying to get all that shit out again. So next time I'm doing that, I'm going to just steal my mom's vacuum cleaner. Like I'm gonna just borrow this. Cause like hers is stronger.
Yeah. Yeah. I realized I'm an adult today when I was like, oh man, I wish I could afford a Dyson and get a nice vacuum cleaner, not the shitty one. I'm like, seriously, that's what I will spend my hard-earned money on? A Dyson? But it's just so good.
I feel like we're just at this point in our life where we become adults because like I was so excited for a deal I got on fabric softener. I mean, if that isn't peak adulting, I don't know what is.
That's true.
Appliances, cleaning supplies, and food.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. The
I
excitement.
mean, I have my shit in order right now. I have like my meals prepped for the entire week. I don't have to cook shit until Saturday at least.
Yay.
Nice.
I could probably make it till Sunday because I also have like stuff in the freezer. So I'm so proud. It's like I have my shit in order this week.
Proud of you.
Watch me be a mess next weekend, but that's okay.
I wish I could like pre-cook, but I'm too lazy to do that. It's just too much.
Yeah, see, like for me, the issue is I have to work from noon until 8:30 this week, which are like shit times because like when do you eat and when do you cook? Because I'm for sure not going to cook at like 9 a.m. And I am also for sure not going to cook when I get home at like 9 p.m. And then eat at like, well, 9:30 if I choose something quick.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like I know myself that's not going to happen. So I just prepared stuff. I have like an oven dish with like potatoes and broccoli and fish and curry stuff.
Nice.
And I have like a rice dish with chicken and I don't know how to pronounce it in English, but like gyros, like the Greek
Yeah, gyros.
seasoning.
I think they're called. Aren't they called gyros?
I think so, gyros, yeah.
Yeah, with W say gyros, but that's very much not how you pronounce it in English. But with those herbs and like tomatoes and feta cheese and all that, and then I have chicken tikka masala wraps, but those are like I still need to put them together. But I have like my rice cooked, and I have my chicken ready, and I have my tomato diced, and I have my onion sliced, and I can just put it all in a wrap and just put it in a container and take it with me to work.
Yay!
Sounds wonderful. Yeah, I would just eat cereal for every meal if I had scheduled like that. I'd be like, whatever, mother's gonna eat this.
Like you should see me go to work because I just bring so much food. Like because I have to bring my lunch, I have to bring my dinner. Then I also bring snacks, which usually is just a giant bowl of fruit to snack on throughout the day. And it's like I just bring an entire extra bag just for food.
Fair enough.
So yeah, but it's okay. It's okay.
Well, do you have any plans for the rest of the day?
Me or Kira?
Just both of you. I mean, for you, it's like 10? No.
9.
9? Yeah.
I'll
so
be joining Esme for Desertathon sprints because I'm like co-host, and then at 9:30 I'll be watching the Formula One.
Nice.
Which is actually sort of relatively close to you, Kira, because it's in Miami.
Okay.
I mean, I gather it's still, I don't know what, 5 hours away or something.
Yeah, about.
But it's relatively close to you. Because for us, it's on the other side of the world, so it's like relatively close to you.
Florida's a long state.
Yeah. I feel like you're in Florida as well, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
God. I think all of UK would probably take like 7 hours. I don't know. Maybe it's a bit longer if you go to Scotland, but like still.
For us, it depends on like what route you take. Because if I take like the normal route, I can be in Belgium in like 2.5 hours.
Mm.
And I'm way up north.
Mm. Yeah, I think Poland, if you go like this, it's about 8 hours each way.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Netherlands is, like I said, it depends because we have like one part that extends down into Belgium a really long way, but it's still the Netherlands. Like we all don't want it to be Netherlands, but it is. But I mean, if you go through there, I guess it would take you like 4 hours. I'd say 3.5, something like that. But you only go there if you need to be there, basically, because it's not one of the main routes you use to go south, basically. So yeah, no, like I said, I can be in Belgium from here in about 2.5 hours.
Nice.
True, if there's literally no one else on the road and I can actually drive the speed limit and I don't have to brake for anything.
What about you, Kira? Any plans for the rest of the day? For you, it's actually the rest of the day.
I'm still toying with some ideas. I have no idea.
Fair enough.
Was that me or was that one of you guys?
I think that was my notification, if that's what I heard.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. I've become suspicious with this laptop. Because suddenly it just shuts down for no reason, so
I know.
It will say like battery's empty, but battery is not empty. Battery's attached to, to what's it called? To the power, basically. Battery not empty. So there's really no reason for it to shut down, but sometimes it just does. So I don't know why.
Oh, good.
So yeah, I was just having a bit of like stress here because it's like, no, don't shut down.
No worries. I don't know. Should we say bye? Because like,
yeah, I don't think we really have anything else to talk about.
We've been talking about other shit for 20 minutes. So.
Yep. So, bye. I guess.
Bye. See you for book 2.
Bye.